Hi there, I'm Andy Hillier, and in this guitar lesson I'm going to teach you how to play the Marshal's Tale from the Mandalorian Season 2. I've done a cover version of it, go and check it out. I'll leave a link in the description and a card above here. Just before I teach you though, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, which is Andy Hillier, giving me a like on the video, leaving me some comments in the comment section, including any songs you want to learn. And if you love what I'm doing and you want to support me, keep me going, I've got a Patreon account where I put the tabs for these videos on there so you can print them out. I'll leave a link to that in my description down below. Guitars in standard tuning, you can play it on any type of guitar. You can play it on acoustic guitar, electric guitar, or a classical guitar like I'm playing on today. So, standard tuning, the first line slowly goes. So for that, I'm just using my second finger on E3 nearest to my face, and then you've got the G string, and you're playing it. You can either play it just 8 times, or I've got a little skip on the end there. I've got an extra little hit into the next bar. So I've written. Okay, the second bar is exactly the same. So you've got the E3 and the G at the same time. Bar 3, I've got an extra little skip halfway along. I've got. And then the last bar, there's no skipping it. I've just written it straight like this. So the whole line goes. So that's a little intro part, and then it comes into the main part, which sounds like this. So to play that, it's probably actually easier to use your third finger on E3, and your little finger is then going to play B3 twice, then B1, then E3 and the B1 at the same time, and then play that little finger on E3 again. So from the beginning of the line you've got. And then we've got open G, then G2, and then use your little, so that'll be your second finger, then use your little finger on G3, and you've got the E3 at the same time in bar 7, and then another G3, G2, then open G, and then just an E3 in bar 8. Anything in the bracket you don't play, you're just holding it on. So that line slowly goes. I'm holding that E3 all the way through it so it rings a bit faster. Into the next bar, first finger. Well, let me just play the next line for you. It goes. So for that we've got A1 with the first finger, third finger on B3 twice, then E1. I've barred my first finger down so it's holding that E string. So we've got bar 9, you got. Then play the A1 and the E1 at the same time, and back to the B3. So from the beginning of the line that goes. Then G, G2, then A1 and G3 at the same time. G3, G2, then open G, so bar 11 goes. And then in bar 12, B1 and A3 at the same time, and then we're going to jump between the B1 and the G string, B1, G, B1, G. And I did a little crescendo on it, so I went. So build it up. Okay, so let's try the whole of that line slowly. And up to speed. On to the next line. It starts the same as the second line actually. It starts E3, B3, B3, B1, B1 and B3. Sorry, B1 and E3, and then back to the B3. So from the beginning of that line, you've got then G, G2, and then it's going to change here. We're going to play D1 and G3 at the same time, then G3 to G2, open G. Just play the in bar 16 the D1 on its own, then G, G2. So that whole line goes. Into the next line, we've got bar 17. We're playing A3 and G3 at the same time. Then B3, G2, G. So you got then A3 on its own, G, G2. Then we're going to play D1 and G3 at the same time. B3, G2. And then G, so bar 19 goes. Then in bar 20 you've just got D1 and D3 on the end. So let's just try that line. And the next line goes. Probably the trickiest line of the whole thing. We've got A3 and G at the same time, then B3 on its own, and then A3 and E5, E6, E5, then another E5, and I'm playing A6 at the same time. So from the beginning of that line you've got. And then we're going to do this little run, so it starts on G7. I put an A6 along the same time as this E5, E6, E5, B8, B6, G8, G7 and G5. So it goes. If you can hold that 6 through it, then it sounds cool, but it's not a problem if you need to get rid of it. And on to the next line, we're going to start with E3 and G3, then B3, B3, B1, E3 and B1 at the same time, so B3, so you got. Then G, G2, G3 and the E3, then G3, G2, G, then E3. So that line goes. And the last line goes. So for that we're playing A1, B3, B3, E, then E1 and A1 at the same time. So we've got. Then we've got G, G2, A1 and G3 at the same time, G3, G2, G, A3 and B1 at the same time, and then do a little pull off from G3 to G2, then play the open G and E3 to finish. So that last line goes. Okay, so let's try and put it all together nice and slowly. Here it comes. that's the whole of my arrangement. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed that little guitar lesson. If you have, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, which is Andy Hillier, giving me a like on the video, leave me some comments in the comment section, let me know where in the world you're from. It's really interesting for me to hear from you guys. Any songs you want to learn, and if you love what I'm doing and you want the tabs for this, I've got a Patreon account. Go and check that out. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Thanks for watching this. I've been Andy Hillier, and I'll see you next time.